Jade's cornerback here again, and in today's video, I'm going to be finally getting into a topic many of you guys have been requesting for a very, very long time, since the beginning of March of this year when I covered the top 30 strongest Teen Wolf characters list in that trash-ass video. And also, this is also being made due to the let's just say, not so great top 10 strongest Teen Wolf characters list by Teen Wolf News. That was absolutely horrible to watch. My soul was being pulled from my body every second I watched that video. So yeah, in today's video, you're gonna get the top 25 definitive strongest Teen Wolf characters by me. So yeah, if you guys don't agree, even though this is a definitive top 25 list, you can drop your list in the comment section down below. Also, if you guys are wondering why my voice is so scruffy, it's because I just woke up. I planned on doing this last night, but I was on the phone with one of my friends, so couldn't really get to it. So I'm doing it as I'm awake now before school. So we're not going to spend too long on this. I'm going to try to get through this very quick. Plan on not making it too long. So yeah, 24 and 25 will be honorable mentions. So it's actually a top 23 list with 2 honorable mentions, but still a top 25. So we're gonna go from top tiers to okay. And obviously the number 1 strongest creature in Teen Wolf is the Beast of Jevudan. Of course, doesn't really need an explanation. This is just a common sense thing. Everybody who's seen the show, who has an IQ that's not low, knows that the Beast is the strongest creature in Teen Wolf. And of course, strongest werewolf, 248 plus years old. Man was definitely in a league of his own. And yeah, Beast speaks for himself. So I would go into him longer. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this long. Plus, most of you guys have seen the show multiple times, so you should know why the Beast is number 1. I shouldn't really have to explain it too much. Number 2, strongest creature in the verse, strongest character. My fault. That's going to Garrett Douglas, Tribrid, 90-plus-year-old Nazi, served Nazi Germany in World War II. He's enhanced by the Dread Doctor serum, putting his strength currently on par with the Dread Doctor. He's also an Alpha Low-Image, and he has the powers of the Wild Hunt, aka the Ghost Riders. So Mans can travel between dimensions, control Hellhounds, which he pretty much did with Jordan Paris, turning him into a little bitch for the entirety of the second half of Season 6, Part 1. Man could ride the Ghost Rider's horse if he wanted to. We just never saw him do it. And he could erase people from existence using the rider's gun or the whip. So yeah, Man was definitely a powerhouse. There was no way Scott McCall should have beat him. That was one of the biggest disappointing levels of plot armor I've ever seen. Like, dude, Scott McCall wasn't even able to beat a Dread Doctor one-on-one or a Ghost Rider one-on-one. And I've proved this numerous times by telling people to go to specific scenes, and people have come back and told me, oh yeah, Scott's never really beaten a Dread Doctor, Scott's never really beaten a Ghost Rider. So, yeah, people, you can call me a liar all you want, but the proof is right there. You just have to go back and rewatch the scenes. I'm pretty sure some of you guys haven't seen those scenes in a long time. So yeah, Scott, there's no way Scott's beating a character that's 1, a Tribrid, 2, a character that has the power of 3 different species. Well, not really species. He's technically has 2 species, but he's a Low-Image, so he's a hybrid. So technically, he's the power of 4 different species. Dread Doctor, Lion. He's a werewolf lion hybrid, and then power of the Ghost Riders. Very interesting. Never really thought about it like that. Yeah, Garrett Douglas number 2. Shouldn't be any arguments there. Man's an absolute. Man was. Yeah. Number 3, gonna give that to Howen. 100-plus-year-old Hellhound, been around since 1918. Built Icon House. encased himself in Icon House in case the Nukete ever returned. So when it did, he would break free and stop it. Outclassed Jordan Parrish in every way due to him being a way older, way more experienced, way stronger Hellhound. Jordan Parrish has only been a Hellhound in the series for at least 2 to 3 years, I think, by the time Teen Wolf ends. So, yeah, because he got turned into a Hellhound around the beginning of season 3, part 1 in the timeline. It was like September or August of 2011 when he died and got brought back to life. So, yeah, Hellhound at number 3. Number 4, I'm going to give that to the other Hellhound, Jordan Parrish. Should be pretty obvious. Everybody literally needed this dude's help in order to take out the Beast of Jeopardy, and he was looked upon as the only thing that could stand a chance against the Beast. For the most part, he did. He had the best fights against the Beast. He was able to last against the Beast for a pretty decent amount of time. But the Beast was obviously stronger than him, and I would argue that Howland would give Sebastian way more trouble than Jordan ever did. To be honest, Howland would probably, I think he would probably beat the Beast in one of his encounters. I'm not gonna lie. So 20-plus-year-old Hellhound, military experience. Very good at combat. Very good at using firearms and shit like that. This is a Hellhound, so yeah. Number 5, I'm gonna give that to Deucalion. Obviously, strongest beast-like werewolf we've seen on the series for sure. Strongest alpha we've seen, self-proclaimed demon wolf, the strongest augmented alpha we've seen. 30-plus-year-old augmented alpha werewolf, been around since 1977 within the series timeline. Dude's an absolute powerhouse. Shouldn't have to explain Deucalion either. Everybody knows why Deucalion is in the top 5 for sure. Man's been an augmented alpha in the series timeline for at least 6 to 7 years, because the Hell House fire was 6 years prior to the events of season 1, 2, and 3. So it should have been around like 6 years for Deucalion being an augmented alpha, but yeah, Deucalion's definitely number 5. Number 6, I'm gonna give that to the Nogitsune, aka Void Styles, one of the only few creatures on the show with an actual personality and with defining character traits. Shouldn't really have to explain Void Styles either. 1,000-year-old plus dark Kitsune spirit, mind controlled Ethan, Aiden, Derek, and Isaac all at the same time while doing his own thing. Took control of an army of Oni, got Allison killed, got Aiden killed, clapped Scott twice, one-shotted him, knocked him out, was able to trick Scott numerous times, pretty much almost killed him, I would say, in that one scene in Lothario Volpine when he's taking the pain until Deaton stopped him. Clapped Kira twice, one-shotted her as well, sent Derek flying within seconds. Derek tried to fight him. Derek didn't no chance at all. Allison tried to take him out with his taser, was able to control electricity, manipulate it, so wouldn't get affected. And yeah, due to his teleportation, he has illusion casting, which he's kind of like a Silas, where he can create realistic illusions, which he was able to trick Scott McCall and his pack for a very good amount of time until they figured out how to break through. So, dude's an absolute powerhouse, definitely deserves number 6. Number 7, I'm going to have to give that to Marcel, the surgeon, Dread Doctor. The reason I'm not putting the other Dread Doctors on here is because Marcel has the most personality out of all of them, and we actually know who he is. We don't know who the other 2 are, so yeah, putting Marcel on here. I also forgot to mention the criteria for this list. I was trying to just get through it, but it'll be a list based on the show's actual events, mixed with logic and common sense, obviously. None of the writer's influence will be a part of this at all. Sorry, not sorry. So no bullshit ass plot armor is gonna save these characters on this list. I'm putting these characters on this list based on shit that should actually make sense in the show, not this terrible power scaling that the writers have. Because if you guys don't know, it's not Jeff Davis writing every single episode. he writes a few episodes of the show, but the writers are different every single episode, which is kind of a downfall because they kind of put their own input on certain things in the show, but they all kind of go off one general script, I would say, which is the layout for the whole season. Yeah, just throw that out there, and there will be no biases. I'm trying not to put any biases in this, and it'll be based on every aspect of the character as well. So yeah. So right back to Marcel. 248-year-old immortal enhanced superhuman. Man was an absolute powerhouse. Nobody could literally stop this. He was definitely the third most powerful character aside from Sebastian and Jordan Parrish in season 5. As a whole, nobody could stop this dude. Scott and his pack couldn't. Theo and his pack couldn't. Yet Dread Doctors were an absolute powerhouse. And it was crazy to find out that Garrett Douglas was as strong as these dudes and then got even stronger throughout the season. So, yeah, absolutely insane. But, Marcel, he helped the Beast cover up his murders for 3+ years before before the Beast died. And then Marcel made that promise to bring back Sebastian, try everything he could, went into the science field, started messing around with genetics and shit like that and chimeras, and the rest. So, yeah. Number 8, gonna have to give that to Talia Hale. No, we didn't see her do much, but all the characters hype her up, including Deucalion, who was the strongest alpha. So if the strongest alpha is complimenting her and hyping her up, she's definitely stronger. But just because we didn't see her do anything, I'm not going to put her above these guys at all. I think this should be the right spot because she is an evolved alpha werewolf, and we've seen just how strong evolved werewolves are. Hence, look at Derek and how strong he became. I'd argue he's somewhat stronger than Scott a little bit, at least on a more consistent basis. So, yeah, definitely going to put Talia Hale at the number 8 spot. Even though we didn't see her do much, I think this should realistically be where she's at, because you can't put her in really strong, because she was the leader of the werewolf community before her death, which means she was the higher up of Deucalion, Ennis, Kali. All of them answered to her. So you definitely got to be strong and powerful in your own right if you have Deucalion as your subordinate. So yeah, I think Derek Hell goes after her. Number 9, 20+-year-old evolved beta werewolf. Season 4 explained. I was able to take out Berserker very quickly within a few seconds. I think like 5 to 10 seconds if I remember correctly. Then mortally wounded Kate, which means he pretty much almost killed her with one shot. Almost one-shotted Kate. Was pretty embarrassing. Scott McCall couldn't even hang with Kate Argent during their little fight in the episode prior to Smoke and Mirrors. So, yeah, would definitely argue Derek is, as an evolved werewolf, definitely stronger than Alpha Scott for sure, at least based off the little bit we've seen from him. So, yeah. And we got to see how strong evolved werewolves are, and they're definitely the type of werewolf you want to aim for. I would say the werewolves you don't want to aim for are the ones like Peter and the Beast. Then I would say Scott McCall is in the middle. Then Derek and Talia Hale are the werewolves you want to aim for, because clearly your evolved state gives you power boost, as it should, hence the name evolved. So yeah, number 10, I'm gonna give that to Kate Argent, the Were Jaguar. Beat Scott McCall bad. This shit was embarrassing. Not stronger than evolved Derek. That was made abundantly clear as she damn near died almost to one shot by this dude. Able to create berserkers. She's around them most of the time. Yeah, so Kate was no joke. Definitely a powerhouse in her own right as well. And I think this is where she belongs in the top 10. Using logic and common sense, I think this is where she belongs. So yeah, that's the top tiers for you. Number oh my god, numbers really strong. So I'm gonna give that to Scott McCall. I think that because he's inconsistent, that's why he didn't make the top tiers list. He's inconsistent as fuck. I'm not holding back. I'm not sugarcoating anything in this video. He is really fucking inconsistent. He has some he's some really good strength feats. I'm not gonna lie. People like to downplay him a lot, but if the Beast of Jevauden's complimenting on your strength, you definitely gotta be strong in your own right. So yeah, Scott McCall is not any scrub. I think this is where he belongs realistically. I think if he was more consistent, he would definitely crack the top 10, would definitely be above Kate Argent. But you know how it's just his character, man. Like him not wanting to kill definitely holds him back because a lot of these characters, right, they're willing to kill, and it's why they're so strong because they finish off their opponents and they steal their sparks. Scott McCall hasn't really stole a spark of any other person. So, yeah, one of the reasons why he's down here, but main reason is because he's inconsistent as fuck. If he wasn't inconsistent and he was a consistent character with consistently good feats, not just jobbing out the characters, and mind you, there's in-universe explanations for why he jobbed out, like Scott versus Liam fight. You can't use that excuse anymore because it's literally explained in the show why Scott can't beat Liam at that point in time. Dude was literally snorting a wolf's bane for like 3 weeks prior to that fight, and plus Liam was enhanced by a supermoon, and so was Scott, but Scott was still extremely weak. So yeah, can't really use that fight as an excuse anymore. People like to say Belasco jobbed out to him, but yeah, Scott made Belasco his little bitch, if I remember correctly, because I think he broke his arm and his bone was sticking out, and he ran away back to the Dread Doctors bitching out. So yeah, this is where Scott McCall definitely belongs. Next, gonna put Hanna Jackson. I shouldn't have to talk about him either. Dude was an absolute powerhouse, damn near invincible. Like they literally tried everything to kill this dude in season 5 and season 2. Way above his time in terms of strength and feats, outclassed Alpha Derek, outclassed pretty much everyone in season 2. I would say that Jackson was definitely the strongest character in that by that point in time in season 2 for sure. I definitely think he could hold his own against Alpha Scott. I think he can beat Alpha Scott in some instances, but just for this video's sake, I'm gonna put him right behind Alpha Scott for sure. Number 13, that's gonna have to go to Ethan and Aiden and their merged form. Uh, Individually, definitely the weakest of the Alpha Pack. Merged, definitely the second strongest behind Deucalion for sure. That was made abundantly clear by just how much of a fucking force of nature these two were when they merged and how nobody was able to stop them except Jennifer Blake, who was a little bit because she waited until a lunar eclipse when these guys were at their weakest states in order to kill them. So yeah, Jennifer Blake, people like to argue she's strong, but she's really not because she had to wait through a lunar eclipse just to kill the Alpha Pack when these guys were about to lose all their powers and when every werewolf at that point in time was at their weakest point in the series. Yeah, you're a little weak, Jennifer Blake, not gonna lie. So yeah, then gonna put Kali. This is where she belongs. Actually, no, I'm lying. My fault. Gonna put Alpha Peter. I forgot he was on this list. Yeah, Alpha Peter definitely belongs here. Speaks for himself. Talked about him in a lot of my recent videos. Shouldn't have to talk about him anymore. Then I'm gonna put Kali, and yeah, Kali speaks for herself as well. Would definitely, I would put Alpha Peter above her because of his transformed state. But human wise, Kali beats him for sure. It's not even an argument. She's an augmented alpha. But Peter, with that busted fucking transformation of his, which nobody was even able to kill unless they used Molotov cocktails, is definitely really strong. Able to hold up Derek Hale with one hand, something Deucalion wasn't even able to do. I mean, he didn't really try to do that. He was dealing with two people, but still, but yeah, definitely busted. Definitely belongs right below merged Ethan and Aiden for sure. And I'll leave behind. Just really strong. We're gonna move on to decent. Decent. I'm going to put Ennis first. Weakest of the Alpha Pack, aside from Ethan and Aiden, was on par with Alpha Derek Hale, which is quite sad because he's an augmented Alpha. Clearly he didn't kill enough. He didn't kill enough of his betas, or didn't have enough betas to kill because, yeah, why are you on par with a regular Alpha, which had no beta kills and didn't get the power from his other betas? This is what I mean about power scaling, people. It's terrible. Then I'm going to put Satomi Ido Actually, no, I'm gonna put Jennifer Blake right behind him. Jennifer Blake, very strong in her own right. Uh, wasn't able to deal with any of the Alpha Pack though by herself before the season 3 mid-season finale. Pretty much jobbed out. Um, and yeah, people like to overhype her, especially Teen Wolf News, when this dude doesn't even know his own canon, doesn't even know anything in the show clearly from the way he talks. Man's I'm not gonna get on that now, but Jennifer Blake, she had to wait to a lunar eclipse to dude, she literally killed all of the Alpha Pack during the lunar eclipse when they were all at their weakest. She killed Ethan and Aiden's merge form when they were at their weakest state. She killed Kali when she was at her weakest state. When 2 episodes prior, you would believe if she was taking them out this easily, she would have just ran through him like a hot knife through cheese. But no, she had to wait till the lunar eclipse specifically to try and kill him, and then she walked up to Deucalion and try to take him out with her little magical blast, and that shit barely didn't even do anything. It didn't even do anything at all to Deucalion. Man just smiled, threw her away out of the fucking factory, had her laying flat on her ass, looking up at the lights. Terrible. So yeah, Jennifer Blake definitely goes here. Then I'm gonna put Satomi. Uh, you got to give Satomi her respect, man. Definitely goes here. Then I would say we start getting in the Scott's pack. The strongest of Scott's pack, aside from Derek and Scott, I'd argue is Liam because of feats. Definitely his strongest feats going against the Hellhound Howin, which was absolute bullshit as well. But it's still a feat that happened in the show, so we got to use it in this. The fact that he was able to hold his own against Howin definitely puts him above a lot of the other characters on here, or the rest of the characters that we have for sure. So yeah. After him, I would put uh kind of split because Lydia doesn't really, she's not special at all aside from her bitch ass banshee scream. Um, Actually, I would say I'd probably put Malia above her. Yeah, Malia could probably hold her own against Lydia 1-on-1. If Lydia doesn't scream, then Malia could definitely beat her for sure. Yeah, Lydia is not that impressive. I mean, she learned a few combat techniques from Parrish in season 5, but if she doesn't scream, she's pretty much the most useless member of the pack. I'm not gonna lie. Then I would probably put Kira. Then I would say uh Theo. Oh wait. Yeah. Kira. Um, yeah, people are gonna be really fucking triggered I put Lydia this low. Um, but I'm looking at it from an objective standpoint. Like, what does Lydia have to put her above the rest of these characters except her fucking scream and her intelligence? Nothing really. Most of the time you see Lydia in the show, she's a damsel in distress. Terrible. The Princess Peach of Teen Wolf. Always needing to be rescued by somebody, especially Styles. Season 4, useless. Season 3, useless. Season 2, well, can't really use that because she wasn't really a Banshee yet, but Season 3, Part 1, useless. Season 5, Part 1, held her own for the most part. Season 5, Part 2, a damsel in distress. Needed her Mario to rescue her. So, yeah, not really a good showing for Lydia for a majority of the show. Didn't really hold her own until season 6. So yeah, definitely gonna put her down here realistically. I'd say Theo can hold his own more than Malia. Honestly, I think this is where he belongs. Definitely weaker than Kira. Malia right now definitely weaker than her. Liam, clearly we saw that, made abundantly clear Theo's weaker. And then honorable mentions, I'm gonna have to give that to Sean Walcott and then Velasco. So that is the definitive top 25 or top 23 plus 2 honorable mentions according to me. If you guys enjoyed this list, make sure you leave a like. Also, comment down below who you think is the top 25 strongest Teen Wolf characters. This is just my definitive list. If you have your own list you want to share, provide it in a respectful manner in the comments down below. I'm Jade's Corner. Without further ado, make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Don't forget, first live stream in like almost a fucking month will be tomorrow because I actually have time to stream and I'm not caught up with schoolwork and shit. These teachers are absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, enjoy. And more Team Wolf videos will be coming out through the rest of the month. And more Mortal Kombat videos as well. So I'm out. Peace.